Hello and a warm welcome to day 3 of our 7-day beginner yoga challenge. Today's class will be focusing on hips, hamstrings and the lower back. You will need a couple of blocks or something else like books for this class, and also a strap or a tie or a belt or something that you can use as a strap. Let's begin. We're going to begin lying down on our backs. Have your strap nearby, you will need it in a minute. So just come down onto your back, have your knees bent, feet about hip distance apart, and we'll begin by taking a few deep breaths. So just take a slow and deep inhale in through the nose and a slow exhale through the nose. So just bringing our attention to the present moment, focusing on lengthening the time it takes you to breathe in and lengthening the time it takes you to breathe out. And see if you can start connecting to your core muscles. So see if you can exhale with a bit more force, and you'll notice that your core muscles will naturally have to engage to empty your belly of the breath. So full exhalation. Keep your left knee bent and just bring your right knee into your chest. Have your hands interlaced over the right knee and draw it as close to your chest as feels comfortable for the hip. You can keep the left knee bent if your left hip's a bit tight, or maybe see if you can straighten the left leg. Couple of breaths here. Just notice how your hips are feeling in this position. And then on an exhale, bring your right foot down onto the floor, bend the left knee and bring your left knee into your chest, so switching sides. And again, you can continue having the right knee bent or maybe straighten the right leg. Your left knee could be just loosely into your chest, or maybe you can start bringing it a little bit closer towards you. Deep breath. And then bring your left foot down onto the mat. Have your left knee bend. Bring the right knee into your chest one more time. And then grab hold of your strap and bring your strap over your right foot and see if you can start straightening the right leg up towards the sky. It doesn't have to go completely straight if your hamstrings are tight. Just take a few breaths here. If your leg is fairly straight, maybe start bringing your right leg a little bit closer towards your body. Again, left knee can stay bent, or maybe you can straighten the left leg flat on the mat if that feels good. Few more breaths here. You can, if you want to, bend the right knee and then straighten it a few times, or just keep holding it nice and straight, whatever works for you. Just explore the flexibility at the back of your right leg. One more breath. And then rebend the right knee, release the strap, bring the right knee into your chest one more time. And we'll switch sides. So bring the right foot down onto the mat, keep the right knee bent, bring the left knee into your chest, and then grab hold of your strap. Have your strap around your left foot this time. Inhale, and on an exhale, start straightening the left leg up towards the sky. So again, it doesn't matter if it doesn't go completely straight. You can have a little bend in the knee if you need to. You can keep the right knee bent, or maybe straighten the right leg, just deepens the stretch a bit. If it feels comfortable, if your hamstrings are fairly open, you can start drawing your left leg a bit closer towards your chest. Be mindful of over-flexing the knee, so keep your knee nice and soft. One more breath. And then we bend the left knee, release the strap. Bring the left knee into your chest for a breath. And then place your left foot down onto the mat. Bend both knees, feet flat to the floor. On an inhale, bring your right knee into your chest one more time, and then place your right foot over the area just above your left kneecap and just push the right knee out to the side with your right hand. You can stay here as your level 1. If you want to feel the stretch a little bit deeper, start bringing your left knee towards you. Maybe have your hands interlaced behind your left thigh or maybe over your left shin. Try and keep your right toes flexed to protect the right knee, and the closer you bring the left knee towards you, the more stretch you should hopefully feel in your right hip. A few breaths here. And then exhale, release. And then see if you can cross the right leg over your left. So just like you would if you were sitting down with your legs crossed. So your right knee is stacking on top of your left. And then bring both knees towards your chest. So it doesn't have to be very far. Just notice where you start feeling the stretch. Should be in your right hip. You can have your hands over your knees. So if you want to deepen the stretch, you can bring your hands down onto your ankles, or maybe grab hold of the outer edges of your feet and start drawing your feet towards your body. You should hopefully start feeling it, or really feeling it, in your right hip. Just work at your own level, don't push it. A couple of breaths here. Keep deepening that breath, so focus on the breath. On your next exhale, keep your leg crossed but bring your feet down onto the mat. And then open your arms out to the side like a capital T. Move your feet over to the right just ever so slightly. Deep breath in, and on an exhale, drop your knees over to the left. So a bit of a twist. Go as far as feels good. Try not to lift the right shoulder blade off the mat. You can look towards the right fingertips if you want to, or continue looking up. On your next inhale, come back and cross the legs, and we'll do the same stretches on the other side. So have your right knee bent, foot flat to the floor, bring the left knee in, and then cross your left ankle over the area just above your right kneecap, and then use your left hand to just gently press your left knee out to the side. So we're trying to kind of make the left shin parallel with the front edge of the mat. Doesn't matter if it doesn't parallel. So stay here, or if you want to deepen the stretch, start bringing the right knee a bit closer to your body. Again, you can have your hands interlaced behind your right thigh or maybe over your right shin, whatever works for your left hip this time. Keep your left foot fairly flexed to protect the knee, and take a few deep breaths. So focus your attention on the left hip. Notice where the stretch is feeling most intense. Try and bring your attention to that area. Deep inhale, and on an exhale, see if you can release the tension. And then when you're ready, bring your right foot down back on the floor if it was lifting, and then continue crossing your left leg over your right until your knees are stacking on top of one another. Deep inhale and exhale, start bringing your knees towards you. So your left knee is on top of your right now. You can have your hands to your knees. If that's enough, stay here, or maybe bring your hands down onto your ankles, or grab hold of the outer edges of your feet and start bringing your feet closer towards you. That will deepen the stretch in the left hip. Another deep breath. And then exhale, release. Bring your feet down onto the floor. Keep your legs crossed. Open your arms out to the side one more time, capital T. Bring your feet over to the left side this time, just a little bit. Deep breath in, and then on an exhale, drop your knees down towards the right. So twisting to the right. Maybe look over towards your left fingertips or just keep looking up. On your next inhale, bring your knees back up and cross your legs, and then see if you can bring both knees into your chest. Rock along the spine. Just spend a moment or two here. You can have your knees in nice and loose, or maybe start bringing them a little bit closer to your chest. If your hips permit, you can interlace your arms around or wrap your arms around your knees, grab hold of your elbows and just rock side to side. And then uncross your arms, bring your hands underneath your knees, and we're just going to rock up and down the spine until we come up into a seated position. If that doesn't work for you, you can always just roll onto your side and come up into a seated position. Otherwise, see if you can rock up and down a few times. Could feel quite nice, massaging the back until you come up into a seated position. So sitting with your legs crossed, let's have the left shin over your right to start with. If this doesn't work for you, if you're finding this challenging, see if you can sit up on something, so a block or a book or even a pillow. That usually helps with crossing the legs and tilting the hips forwards. So if you need to, please sit up on something. Otherwise, on an inhale, lengthen your spine, bring your fingertips in front of you, and on an exhale, we're just going to walk our fingertips forward. So you should start feeling a stretch in your hips and your lower back, and then just go as far as feels good for the hips. So maybe you can bring your forehead onto the floor or towards the floor. Maybe you can bring your head onto a block. Wherever you are, a few breaths here. On an inhale, come up and walk your fingertips back towards your body. Keep your right knee bent and just open your left leg out to the side, and then bring your right foot into your left thigh. Take a deep breath here, lengthen the spine. On an exhale, bring your left hand down your left leg, so maybe on the inside of your left leg, or just grab hold of your left leg somewhere. Inhale, lift your right arm up, and on an exhale, see if you can start bringing your right arm over your right ear, so a side stretch to the left. Inhale, come up, and then turn your body towards your left toes. You can grab hold of your strap here. So try and square your hips towards the left toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and on an exhale, fold forwards over the left leg. Again, just as far as feels good. Keep the left knee nice and soft. You can have a bend in the knee. You can also pop a block under your foot if your under your leg, if your hamstrings are very tight. On an inhale, see if you can lengthen your spine and look up, and exhale, fold forwards. And then inhale, come all the way up, release the strap. And before we go to the other side, just place your left hand onto your right knee, right fingertips behind you. Inhale, lengthen, and on an exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Bend the left knee. This time cross your right ankle over your left knee, so we're switching the cross of the legs. You can have your block nearby if you need it. Inhale, bring your fingertips in front of you, and then on an exhale, start walking your fingertips forward. So the same forward fold, but with our legs crossed the opposite way. You might feel it different on this side, so it might feel more intense in the other hip. A few deep breaths. And then when you're ready, start walking your fingertips back towards your body. And this time keep your left knee bent, open your right knee out to the side. Left foot is into your right thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, start bringing your right hand down, your right leg somewhere. And then lift your left arm up on an inhale, exhale, start bending towards the right, so side bend to the right. Feel the stretch in the left side of the body, hopefully the lower back as well. A few deep breaths here. You don't have to go very far to feel a good stretch. On an inhale, come back up, and then square your hips towards your right toes. This time again, you can use the strap here, have your strap around your right leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold forwards over your right leg. So again, keep your right knee nice and soft. It's a good stretch for the back of the legs as well as the lower back. Try not to round the spine too much, so we're lengthening our head towards the toes rather than head towards the knee, if that makes sense. On your next inhale, see if you can lengthen your spine and look forwards. And on an exhale, fold forwards. On an inhale, come all the way up, release the strap. And then place your right hand onto the left knee, left fingertips behind you. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Exhale, take a twist to the left. One more deep breath. And then release. And then we're going to release the legs and just come sitting down on our bottoms with our legs straight in front of us. Have your strap ready for a forward fold. So you can roll the flesh away from your sit bones. Have your legs nice and long. You can have a little bend in the knees. And then have your hands by your hips, fingertips pointing forwards, and see if you can lengthen your back up. So pretend like there's someone pulling you up from the crown of your head. Back is nice and long. Shoulders are relaxing away from your ears, so make sure you're not lifting the shoulders. If you think you can maintain the straightness in your back, see if you can maybe bring your hands in prayer in front of your chest and just hold. Nice active posture. And then release your hands, have your strap ready, bring your strap over your both of your feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold forwards. So my hamstrings are feeling very tight today, so I'm just going to have my knees a little bit bent and just focus on lengthening my spine towards the toes. I did a big walk a few days ago, so my hamstrings are still feeling it. So don't force it, just work at your own level. If you force it, you won't do your bodies any favours. We want it to be a gradual progress. And then when you're ready, come up, release the strap, Bend the right knee and then bring the sole of your right foot into your left thigh, opening your right knee out to the side. Again, you can wrap your strap around your left leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and on an exhale, fold forwards. So again, just go as far as feels good for the back of your left leg and your right hip. You should feel it in the lower back as well, hopefully a good stretch. A few deep breaths. And then inhale, come up, release the strap, and then bring the right ankle over the area just above your left kneecap. So a similar stretch to what we did lying down. Bring your hands behind your back and stay here. You can use your right hand to gently press on the right knee. Maybe you want to start bending the left knee, and the closer you bring your left foot towards you, the more stretch you should feel in your right hip here. So again, just work at your own level. A few deep breaths. Always try and deepen the stretch on an exhale if you can. So inhale, lengthen, and exhale, maybe move your foot a little bit closer. If your hip feels quite open, you can maybe bring your arms around your leg, so kind of cradle your leg in your arms, and you can even lift your leg off your knee, your foot off your knee, maybe just kind of rock it side to side, see how that feels in your hip. And then straighten the left leg, release your right leg, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So bend the left knee, bring your left foot into your right thigh. Have your strap ready if you need it. You can bring it over your right foot. Inhale, lengthen, and then on an exhale, fold forwards over the right leg this time. Another deep breath. And then exhale, come up, release the strap, and then bring your left foot over the area just above your right knee. Again, you can just sit here if you think this is enough for your hip. Use your left hand to just gently press on the back of on your left knee. Or maybe you can have your hands behind your hips. Stay here, or maybe start bending the right knee. And again, the closer you bring your right foot towards you, the more stretch you should feel in your left hip. So work at your own level, don't push it. You might notice that after a few breaths, your hip starts to open up a bit. And if you want to, you can grab hold of your leg, maybe lift your foot off your right knee and just kind of cradle it, sway it side to side, see how that feels in the left hip. If you're losing your balance doing that, maybe just come back to the previous variation. Your hip's not quite ready for it, which is absolutely time. It will release with time. And then when you're ready, release. Straighten your left leg, give your legs a bit of a shake. And then bend your knees, and with control, let's lower all the way down onto the mat. Have your arms by your sides. You can have your knees bent if that feels better for the lower back, or maybe straighten the legs. Let your feet fall out, and we're just going to relax in our final pose, Shavasana, for a few breaths. So it's going to be a fairly short Shavasana, but if you want to stay in it for a bit longer, you're more than welcome to. So just see if you can relax all parts of your body. Make sure you're not tensing any muscle. You're kind of letting your body just sink into the floor. I'll let you relax in the Shavasana for as long as you've got the time. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining the class today. I hope you enjoyed, and have a beautiful rest of your day. I hope to see you on day 4. Namaste.